I came to Turkey early in 2003 to manage the migration from the small joint venture with total sales less than $30 million in 2002 to manage the transition to 100% Avon owned, which we took over in May 2003. We're the only Avon country who's #1 in beauty and #1 in direct selling, and we're the #1 largest cosmetics, fragrance and toiletries market for Avon in Europe. So we're in a very unique position. As the business grew, we had those awards for sustainable, profitable growth, but also for investment in people's growth. I'm a firm believer in invest in people and you'll grow your business. So with a period of very strong development behind us, obviously we hit the same challenges in 2008 as every other company. So in terms of looking at profitable, sustainable growth looking forward, we were looking to continue strong top-line growth, but also look very carefully at our expenses. And then Scotwork became available, and I was very interested in the concept. When we did the analysis of our vendor-supplier accounts, the top 20 accounts made up 80% of our expenditure. At the time, fuel prices were going up by high double digits, and raw material prices like paper was going up also high double digits. The first two participants really enjoyed the course and benefited enormously from it. Within the first month of their return from the course, with high double-digit inflation in both areas, they negotiated successfully a 10% budget reduction in both the biggest expenditure accounts, which was a major successful story for us. The major learning, talking to the purchasing manager, and she'd been a purchasing professional for several years, when she came back, the feedback she gave me was she really felt she'd stepped up a level and now was a really professional purchasing manager. Our head of operations was faced with the challenge of a one-company negotiation, no serious competitors. But the Scotwork course really shifted his mind in terms of flipping the switch from I'm not in a strong negotiating position to consider himself to be in a very strong negotiating position, hence the successful result from both. One additional thing I'll say about all the participants' feedback, they really benefited from the learning experience, but they also benefited from the classroom environment over the days of the course. They really enjoyed the learning, and they found the feedback from the professionals running the course exceptional, but they also benefited from the peer feedback, which is invaluable when you're on a course like that. So it turned out in all aspects very, very positive indeed. Separate from the big money negotiation, we also had heads of department attend with their people who had responsibility for negotiation. And for example, our head of sales was one of these. But from her perspective, she was far better prepared for negotiations across a global matrix organization in terms of what she wanted to achieve and the steps of how to achieve that. So there were many benefits beyond the financial gains within the organization. Just as a reference to 2008 and the challenges we faced, obviously we had to look at different ways of reviewing the business. Scotwork played a very important part of that in terms of very positive negotiation against the tens of millions of dollars that we spent. Essentially, the money that we saved from the negotiations, we were able to reinvest in the business as we went through 2009. And after a very tough year in 2008, that was a resurgence of the business by reinvesting the money that we saved through the negotiation. And that was fundamental to re-accelerating the business success that we've enjoyed since. Obviously, considering the Scotwork course, it's quite expensive. And many companies are locked into a mindset right now where they're not prepared to make an investment in their people. What we've seen from the investment we've made in the courses is a multiple return on the investment we've made, and very, very quickly indeed. The challenge for many companies is not just making the training investment, but making a training investment in a new concept. And in Turkey, Scotwork is a new concept. But I wholeheartedly support and endorse it because it will take you to a new place in terms of your people's thinking, their negotiating skills, and the results that come out of the huge investment every company makes with its suppliers.